What does it mean to be a day player? At the start of every actor's career, you will be cast as a day player, a role where you are on set for a single day with one or perhaps two scenes. Michael Caine once said that this is the hardest job in the industry. He is right. You arrive with very little information, a brief description of the character, no or minimal context, and no real preparation time. You step into a working environment where the cast and crew have been together for weeks. Relationships are already established. The pace is fast and unforgiving. You are expected to fit in immediately, understand the protocol, and deliver without hesitation. Wardrobe and makeup expect you to know the routine. The second AD does not have time for questions. The camera is waiting. You are on your own. Over more than 50 years as an actor, I have worked on hundreds of productions as a day player, on television, in film, and in major international productions. On The Last Duel, for example, I had a scene with Matt Damon and Adam Driver, directed by Ridley Scott. For an unexperienced actor, unfamiliar with the hierarchy and protocol of a film set, this can be an extremely daunting situation. And yet, you are expected to deliver immediately, professionally, effectively. This is where technique becomes essential. This is where preparation matters, and this is where experience makes the difference. So, what actually happens? You've sent in the self-tape, you've done the recall, and then you get the call from your agent. You've got the part. You receive the script by mail, 3 pages, 1 scene. Note the page numbers. This will give you some idea of where your scene fits in the story. A small indication of context. For example, you are playing a boss who is firing an employee. You learn the text and make acting decisions about the character. Dominant, aggressive. You choose moments where you will raise your voice in anger. All valid, given the text you have. The contract is negotiated. The shoot day fixed. The transport arranged and the flight booked. On arrival at the airport, a driver is there to take you to your hotel. You check in and go down to the restaurant for dinner. During the evening, a piece of paper is slipped under your hotel room door with the schedule for tomorrow. One thing to note here is that very often, nowadays, the person creating the schedule will use emails. If you do not have access to email, tell the driver, because he will relay that information to the person preparing the schedules. Certain things to check. What number are you on the list? If you're number 2, then it probably means that the shoot will just be you and the A-lister. If you are number 12, then that means there are 11 other actors more important than you tomorrow. So, now you know. The driver arrives at the scheduled time, probably very early, so make sure you go to bed early, get up well before the scheduled time, have breakfast and be fully awake. He drives you to the location. This is where, if you have never been on a major film set, things will get quite terrifying if you are not prepared. 100 or so people all working furiously at their assigned jobs. Your arrival will go unnoticed. You are shown to your trailer. With any luck, you will have a dresser assigned to you. That person will be a lifeline. Create a human relationship with her, usually. It will be the only one you will have all day. You get into costume and you wait. And you wait. At some point, the fourth AD will come and escort you to makeup. The makeup trailer is usually one of the happiest and gayest places in the whole location. Makeup done, back to your trailer, in costume and makeup. And you wait. And you wait. For what can be hours. Lunchtime comes. It's probably best to take your costume off for lunch to avoid any possibility of accidents. Now, this is where on-set protocol is very strict. There is the bigwigs table, director, A-lister, chef op, sound engineer, etc. The technicians table, and the featured actors, that's you, table, wardrobe and makeup, and the extras table. Be careful how you choose. Do not eat too much, enough to leave you still a bit peckish. Nothing dulls performance more than having overeaten. After lunch, back to your trailer, and you wait. Now this is where so many performances get destroyed. The endless waiting. You cannot leave or go for a walk, as when the moment comes, you must be ready. The waiting. The mind goes round and round in circles, and the tension builds. Some people bring a book. I cannot do that, because one gets immersed in another world. I have the capacity to go into a semi-meditative state, which works for me. If you do yoga, that's a good way to handle it. The most important thing is to maintain a state of calm and not let the mind churn and create nervousness. One director once told me that very often, with actors new to the experience, that they have become so overwhelmed by it all that when they finally get in front of the camera, all one sees is nerves. Suddenly there is a knock on the door, and the fourth AD is there to escort you to the set. Use this walk. Walk slowly and calmly, and breathe deeply. Don't let yourself be rushed. That breathing is vital. It will slow down your heart rate and give you the presence when you walk on set. As you walk on, 100 pairs of eyes are looking at you, assessing you. Ignore them. Keep your focus. The fourth AD will introduce you to the first AD. Now, he is the head honcho. He is responsible for the whole shebang and has to manage a team of up to 100 people. He is pressed for time, always. try, as far as possible within the bounds of politeness, to introduce yourself first. It's quite possible that he has forgotten or never even knew your name. He will give you the blocking for the scene. Now, it's absolutely vital that you get this right, first time, and every single detail is crystal clear to you. You come through the door, you. Do I close it behind me or leave it open? Because you do not know if it needs to be open or closed, and he might forget to mention it. First AD, you go to the sideboard and pour a drink and then go and sit behind the desk. You, where do I place the drink? Again, this may be important or it may not. Whatever happens, make sure that during every take you place it in exactly the same spot. Continuity will kill you if you don't. Incidentally here, if a prop has to be moved because at the end of the take it has been displaced from where it was at the beginning, like the glass, do not move it yourself. That is the job of the props department. Do not put the glass back on the sideboard. Your time has come. You are now as important as any A-lister or any of the other actors on the shoot. Be confident. Believe it. Believe in yourself. You got the job because they liked what you did, and they chose you out of all the other actors that they saw. In another video, I talk about the process from self-tape to shoot day, how arbitrary it can be, and how very often it has nothing to do with talent or ability. First rehearsal. This is not for the actors. It is for the cameraman, the boom operator, etc., etc. Nevertheless, this is the first time the director gets to see what you intend to do with the action, and it is his opportunity to give direction. If you get none, that means he's happy with what you're doing. Take comfort in that, and be ready to play it to the hilt. However, if he does want to, this is the moment he will do so. Okay, everybody, second rehearsal. At this point, you will have to put into practice whatever direction the director has given you. In the next video, I'll talk more about that. Again, this second rehearsal is more for the technicians and the actors to ensure that everything is ready for the takes. There will be multiple takes, the wide shot, the over-the-shoulder, POV type shots, close-ups, shoe-ins, etc. Consistency is everything. Otherwise, the scene is uneditable. I cannot stress that enough. On the first take, a part of you must be noting what you do and remembering it. A prime example of that is which hand you hold the glass in. If you have it in your left hand for one take and your right hand in another, then it's going to be unusable. Another thing that is important is knowing what the frame is and adjusting accordingly. You can ask, especially if the camera is on you alone. There's a wide shot, a mid shot, chest to head, close up. Now the mid shot is particularly important. If you move from side to side, you will likely go out of frame. If you move backwards and forwards, you will quite possibly go out of focus. In other videos, I talk about editing, in particular the J cut and the L cut, and why they matter to the actor, and the importance of power, of stillness, of pauses and gestures and breathing. Finally, that's a wrap. It's over for you. Car back to the hotel. You may find that many of the crew are in the same hotel, and dinner with them is fine, and often great fun. It's now in the hands of the editor. If what you have done is usable, it will make its way into the final cut. What is not usable will end up on the cutting room floor. As I said in another video, I talk about how to make your work editor-friendly, because at the end of the day, acting is not about what the actor feels. It's about what the actor makes the audience feel. And the editor is the arbiter of that. In the morning, car to take you to the airport, flight home, and the long wait for post-production until the release date, or sometimes a cast and crew private viewing before release.